Hi, I'm Andy Steck. I'm the instructor for this course, History, Culture, and Society. In this course, we will be looking at how we teach social studies K-8. We're on the home page of Blackboard. You'll be using Blackboard solely for your work online. And I'm going to point out a few aspects of the home page. There will be announcements weekly for you, and most of those announcements you will find in your Laverne email, but in case you don't, you'll find them here. You'll see one that I've already sent you with the opening of the course, and by the time you get that, there'll be a second one which will say that this video is now ready. Also, you will see some information for the Academic Success Center, which is a tutorial, and it can help you with editing, and it might be something you might want to look at, if not for this course, for any of the other courses. Some more information about that. Here's a little video in regards to social studies that you can watch, current events. This is the Wilson Library link. If you need to talk to a librarian, you can certainly request an appointment or talk to them. We have great librarians who will help you out. And if you're having a problem with Blackboard, your first contact should be the help desk. If they say it's an instructor problem, then email me and say, is there something wrong with the Dropbox or with the wiki? And it may be I just haven't made it available to you and I need to do that. Sometimes I fail to do that in my work online, and I apologize in advance. I'm not trying to set up obstacles or barriers to get your work done. I'll try to respond to you very quickly. I try to respond within minutes sometimes. If I can respond on my phone, that's usually where I will see an email from you. If I have to go to my computer, it may take a little bit longer to get to the computer to fix the problem, to get you on your way, but I'm going to try to do that as quickly as I can. There's a to-do list when I have assignments that have a due date, and when I have graded your assignment, then I will post it to Gradebook, and it should appear here on the report card as well. There are activities every week that you must do. That's part of like being in class. And then there are additional assignments that I will also be sharing with you, so you understand what you'll need to do for those as well. So this page is pretty important. It's the first one that pops up when you open Blackboard. Another page that is very important are your weekly lessons. You will not see all these now. I have them mapped out for the semester, but you will see week 1 and what you need to do. There should be an explanation if you click on that, and I'm going to also put this video on there so you'll see that as well. The weekly calendar shows you when readings and assignments are due. The syllabus we will go over briefly, and I will share that after the end of this part of the video in regards to Blackboard. Some tools you might need for Blackboard, you can click on that. Any help, there is some ways to get help online as well. The FYI Wiki is a wiki that has resources or additional information related to this course. It could be I found a great link for children's literature that I will add here. Maybe you find a link and you can certainly add that as well. It could be a job fair that we're having at the university or some university around us that you might want to go to too. You might be interested too. So just check that periodically to see if there's any new information on there. There may be something, there may not be. This is the lesson plans and objectives, and you will be writing some lesson plans for this course, and there is a new template we'll be using, and I will be going over that with you during the semester when you have to write a lesson plan. These are wikis we'll be using during the semester. Some of them are there now. Some of them have not created yet because we're not at that point yet in the course. There is a class blog that you'll be using this week. There's also a history, culture, and society journal that you will be using as well. When we have groups, we'll have some group work. Yes, you'll have to work with groups online. I know sometimes that's frustrating. And if I were you, I would do my portion of the group work first and then do your individual work. Usually there are 3 or 4 activities you need to do each week. One of those will be a group activity. The other 2 or 3 will be independent individual activities that you can work on your own time with. These are all of the assignments for this semester, and it starts with the assignment description, which I will also go over with you in the syllabus. You'll be creating an annual pacing schedule. This is a major project, but I think once you get the hang of it, you'll see how social studies, or what social studies looks like throughout the whole year. The twin text assignment are 2 books you're going to look at and compare the 2 books. You're going to create an integrated content lesson plan. You're also going to have a cultural learning experience. You will create a unit online, a unit outline online, and also look at a technology investigation. There is community service for this course that you will need to do as well. It fulfills our university requirement for community service, so you don't have to take the 1-hour course. There's some CSET practice, and we'll be working on that a little bit as well. This course is not a substitute for CSET. You will also get a flavoring of what the social studies, the social sciences piece looks like on the CSET test. And last but not least is the final exam, which is an e-portfolio. You may have already created it, and you'll just add a social studies page to your e-portfolio with all of the assignments that you have created, reflections for those, as well as some other resources that show you as a social studies teacher, and you'll create a little screencast for that for me as well. And that's the final exam. No other tests, so you don't need to worry about tests, but this is a project-based class, and you'll work on projects most likely independently, except for some activities on the weekly activities. If you need to know more about me, please click on that. It gives you some of my background, some of the things that I do now. I have started 3 charter schools, which are elementary schools in Buffalo, New York, where I am from, and I fly back there and work with them. We just opened a new one last year, and I work on the socially emotional approach to what they do in the school. Our very first one we opened 13 years ago is the top performing school in the city of Buffalo. But that's just some information about me. There's more here if you click on there. And the Educational Studies Handbook is the 2018-2019 handbook, in case there is something you need to know about educational studies, the program that you're working within this course. And that takes care of Blackboard Online. Again, the most important pages are the home page, excuse me, and the weekly lessons page, which you will go on every single week. I'm going to now bring up the syllabus and walk through the syllabus with you. Again, here's my contact information. I have office hours Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 3:30 in my office on campus, and I have virtual office hours Tuesday through Thursday, which you can talk to me through WebEx. If you don't have a WebEx account, I would call the helpline at the university and ask them to create a WebEx account for you so that you can, it looks like Skype or it looks like FaceTime with me, but it is a free, private, and I'm saying private that the university owns it, and is well worth having while you're at the University of La Verne. This course focuses on understanding the structure and concepts of a multidisciplinary social studies curriculum. Emphasis is given to the examination of a variety of methods and materials utilized in social studies instruction. This course satisfies the ULV service learning requirement. Here are course objectives defined for you here. Excuse me. And most of these are linked to our assignments, our large assignments. And some of these also, of course, are part of our weekly activities. We are the Lefevre College of Education. Tony Lefevre, who is a trustee, has donated $10 million to our college, and now we are named new name, Lefevre College of Education. We have a mission, which you can read through here when you look at the syllabus. We also have a vision, and we have goals that we work toward achieving. If you don't see that I'm doing these goals or I'm working toward these goals, please let me know, and I will make some corrections and do what I need to do. We have core dispositions, and my favorite one, these are all very good and what should be being used within our courses. My favorite one is a social emotional learning. I create and train my faculty and staff at the 3 schools in Buffalo on social emotional learning, an approach we use in our school, and the founders of our schools firmly believe that is what makes our schools stand out amongst all the other schools. You'll be hearing me talk a little bit more about that, and if you don't, please ask me about that, and I have a passion for it and will be glad to share that with you. This is the required text. It is 2011, so you should be able to find the 4th edition. You should be able to find it inexpensively used, and you're welcome to do that. If you have another edition, you're welcome to use that. Just be careful. If I mention page numbers, you may not have the page numbers you need. The recommended texts are only recommended. You do not need these unless you're interested in looking at 50 social studies strategies for K-8 classrooms. Otherwise, there are plenty of social studies strategies you can find on the internet. The course assignments are here briefly. They're more in depth on Blackboard, and you just need to look at the menu on the left to determine what the specific assignment is and what it entails. It will have a description, it should have exemplars, and it should be able to easy to understand. If you don't, ask me about it. The annual pacing schedule. Each summer, teachers get together, and I know my teachers are doing it right now as we speak because I sat in on a session where they're creating a curriculum map. They're mapping out, and you're going to map out what social studies looks like over a year. Excuse me, what teachers would be teaching at a particular grade level. There are templates and there are exemplars on Blackboard, and it's something you'll do right off the bat so you have an idea of what social studies looks like all across the year. You'll create a twin text assignment, which you'll look at 2 books, and you'll be comparing those 2 books at the same grade level, at the same subject area. And there'll be more information about that as we go along. Your cultural learning experiences that you're going to take get outside of your comfort zone and experience some culture. It might be a festival. It might be going over to a friend's house who is of a different culture than you and having dinner with them. It may be going to some place such as a worship center or some place that is not the place where you worship. And you will then reflect on your experience, and you will write responses to these bulleted points in your reflection. You must do this part to get the credit. If I don't see that you have created responses to these 3 bulleted points, then I will send your work back to you and say you must do that, and including that in your reflection. And there's more about that, again, on Blackboard. You're going to create an integrated lesson plan. You're going to take social studies and integrate that with math or with English language arts or with science, another subject content area, and you will then create a lesson plan with that. And we'll talk about that as well. You'll create a unit outline. You won't actually create a unit. A unit is activities over a period of time on a certain subject, and they'll be talking about that in our textbook, and you'll be also creating that in class as an assignment. You're going to look for some technology that involves social studies, and there are several things that you can do here or create your own, and you'll be giving me your plan of action or your work plan and what that will look like when we get to that assignment. The biggest assignment, I think, for this course, which is due the last week, is to go out and spend 20 hours in working in a community service project. It can be a community organization, and you're going to reflect on these bulleted points here, as well as keep a journal of what you do each time you go out to work for that community organization. This is not a school. You'll not be working in a classroom. It has nothing to do with the school. It's something outside in the community. It can be Salvation Army. It can be the Boys and Girls Club. It has to be something that you don't get paid for, that's not part of your everyday life, excuse me, that you will do above and beyond the work you do in this course. This will give you the credit for a community service requirement that the university requires you to have, and you'll be able to not have to do the 1 hour class that other students have because they don't have a community service learning experience component built into their course. And last but not least, you're going to create an e-portfolio, and you're going to have a social studies page for your e-portfolio where you're going to link all of your assignments you've created and then put a reflection to it, and also add some resources that maybe you found on Blackboard or you found along the way that shows you as a social studies teacher. Excuse me. The course layout is here. The number of points that you'll have each week is worth 50 points when you complete your work online. Once you have the total points, and we divide by the number of points you have, you come up with your percentage, which then translate to a letter grade. Don't do that as you go along, because I give extra credit, and Blackboard gradebook will not honor extra credit, and you'll end up not having the grade you think you have. Wait till the very end, and I'll tell you how many points total, tell you to divide your points by that total number of points, which might look different than this number of points. I just want you to be aware of that. And then you'll figure out your grade. Here is the weekly schedule, just like I had given you on Blackboard. Please be honest and don't plagiarize. Give everybody credit for who needs credit. If you do have a question about that, ask me. I do have a late work policy. I am flexible. Please be transparent and let me know if you don't get work done. You don't have to tell me about your personal life. I'm interested in you, and you tell me as much as you'd like, but I'm not prying here, is what I'm trying to say, and knowing what's going on. If I don't see you online, I don't have work to grade for you completing the activities for the week, I will ask, is everything okay? What do you need from me? What can I do to make you successful? That is my goal. My main goal for this course is to make you feel successful and be successful with the work we're doing in class. You're welcome to redo assignments. You have to do it within a week after I give you the grade. You can't wait till the end of the course and say, oh, I have time now. I can redo some of the assignments and get a better grade. And I'll say, I'm sorry, you have a week after the assignments due, except for the final exam, of course, and probably your community service project, which is due week 15. I can't give you any more time for those, but anything during the course that you don't like the grade you received and you want to redo it, and I give you feedback on how you can improve it, you're welcome to resubmit it to me. But don't do it after a week after you receive the grade. So once you receive the grade from me, you have a week that you can redo it if you'd like to, if you're not happy with the course, but don't wait till the end of the course. The attendance policy for me is that I need to see you online every week to give you credit. And of course, you get 50 points if you complete the work online every week. Here's the information. If you want to have a virtual appointment with me, you'll need to set up a WebEx account. This is how you do that. I do that through WebEx, not through Skyping and not through FaceTime. I do it through a WebEx account. And I'll be glad to help you with that as well. I do try to return your questions or your work within. If you have a question for me, I try to do that immediately or as quickly as I can. It might be within the day, but it's usually not more than a day if I'm away from my phone or if I'm away from my computer. If it's something I need to fix on Blackboard, it may take me a little bit longer, but I will try to get to it as quickly as possible and let you know that it's fixed so you can continue on. If it's an assignment, I try to grade the assignment and your weekly activities within a week. I try to do that as soon as you finish. You have 9 days to complete the work. I start the work on a Friday. I open Blackboard on a Friday evening at 11:59. You have Friday, Saturday. You have all the next week, and you had the following Saturday and Sunday. You also have Sunday the first week too, but the Sunday. And I close it down that second weekend on that Sunday at 11:59. Now you need to know that there'll be some overlapping every single week. So I start on a Friday. Let's say week 1, I gave you some extra time. It will not be ready to do this week. It's due next Sunday at 11:59, and then the week clicks off. But you'll see week 2 starting on Friday at 11:59, and you'll say, whoa, what happened? Now I'm on week 2 and I haven't finished week 1. You still have time to finish week 1. But if you get week 1 done, you can start week 2 immediately. and you'll have 9 days to finish that. If you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask me any question. Your classroom conduct is just to be respectful and appropriate in your responses to the work, as well as if I ask you to comment on your colleagues, that you make it a positive comment. If you have suggestions, make it as a suggestion and not a critical comment. And that takes care of the syllabus. That also takes care of the Blackboard, the explanation for Blackboard. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I will be glad to help you out. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, I'll see you online.